preparing your server for installation. Now, there's an easy way to do this and a hard way. The first thing I'm going to show you is the easy way. I'm going to go to oracle.com again, and I'm going to go to the Downloads button, go to Database 11G, I'm going to click on it, click Accept, and then I'm going to go to 32-bit Windows, click See All. I may already be logged in here. The easiest way to do this is to download these two files, the Oracle Database 11G Release 2 for Windows. If you have Windows 7 and you're a 64-bit, then go and download this version here. And essentially what you do is you download, install the Oracle software and create a database on your local Windows machine, if you have a powerful enough machine. Given that I am a professional database administrator, I have multiple machines in my home office. I have multiple server setups, and I install a database as a server. So as opposed to doing Windows, I would actually install a Linux version. For Linux, I would go to the Linux link on the Oracle Downloads page and go through the process of signing in, downloading and installing a Linux operating system onto a machine, which can go onto a 32-bit Windows box. When I've done that, I would have to go to Database 11G and then download the Linux version of the database. Assuming I have a 32-bit Windows machine, I would have to download this version, which is actually 11.201 of Linux x86, and there are probably two files for that as well, this one and this one. This is the database I'm going to use, and I'm going to assume that downloading and installing Linux is out of the scope of this particular course, but I will show you some details of configuration. First of all, to install Oracle software on top of Linux, you need a tool called Xming and you need a tool called PuTTY. And the easiest way to find those tools is to go onto the web, and I'm going to create another browser quickly because I have others prepared there. Now, PuTTY is a simple SSH tool, which is essentially a way to tunnel securely from Windows to Linux. So you download PuTTY, and it's going to come up with all sorts of funky things. Ignore the funky ones and go to www.putty.org and download it from there. And you would download this link here to download the basic version of PuTTY. To download Xming, you would go to a well-known open source site called sourceforge.net. Xming is actually the terminal emulator. PuTTY is the tool that you're going to use to communicate directly with the Linux server. You'd have to figure out how to download and install those two pieces of software. Then what you'd actually have to do to prepare your server is you need to put the IP address and the host name for your Linux database server into your host file on your Windows box, which is in this directory right here. I've previously installed Xming and PuTTY, and what I can show you is that first of all I can ping, which I've already done just now, the IP address, which means I can talk to my server, and the name, which is interpreted by the host file, which I showed you down here. So I'm talking to the Linux server. So the next step would be simply to start the download and installation process of the Oracle software onto the database server. This is one of my private blog entries which I have not as yet published. What I did was I did a whole lot of rack installations of 11.1 and 11.2 a while back, and I typed them in without the mistakes that are on the sites online, so that I would actually be able to do it myself later on. Now, what I actually have is this is how you get to a DVD on Linux. Depending on the version, it will do certain things automatically. But what it's done is it's gone and created an extra mount point, if you like, and there are certain pieces that are not installed automatically with Oracle Enterprise Linux, and they're right here in my blog. So I'm just going to run this, go back to the root directory. I'm copying and pasting from my blog. You will have access to this at the end of the course, and it's essentially running a whole lot of stuff there. Now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to prepare my server for Oracle to run on.